What are these clowns doing? Rubbing their hands together like they've just discovered fire. Just look at him go. He's certainly going to get them hands warm playing aggressively like that. As rude as this looks, this is a necessary preparation an esports player goes through to prepare. Because this, my friends, is the world of esports.
From your grave.
Video games have become a staple hobby as old as time, since the first installed game Pong by the now dead Atari. From two players trying to score on Smash Brothers or beating your mate up on Street Fighter, video game competitions are as old as video games themselves. Going back to arcades and pinball machines in the early 80s, with games like Donkey Kong and Space Invaders attracting with lure of high score leaderboards, competition really saw a rise in the 1990s, with a majority of players choosing home PC gaming over public arcades. Thus, the LAN party was born, with Doom, Battlefront and StarCraft being notable releases, which saw popularity on LAN play. But LAN wouldn't last forever. Now we have channels dedicated to esports, like OGN. With the rising popularity in popular mobile games like League of Legends, the finals packing Madison Square Garden and a prize pool of 1 million. But you've really got to ask, should esports really be considered a sport? I met up with Will Bartlett, a 19-year-old University of Salford student and occasional gamer himself, who, in just a few hours, will be taking part in a Smash Bros tournament at Play Expo. What are you doing today, Will?
I am brushing up on my Skyrim gameplay, just to hone up my reaction times for the Play Expo tournament today.
How do you feel being a casual going to a massive gaming event?
I'm not too nervous. I've been playing video games enough of my life to feel like I'll do semi alright. I probably won't win, but I'll probably get quite far.
Do you think esports should be considered a sport?
From my point of view, no, not really, because it's sort of more of a mental sort of challenge. It's not really a physical challenge like most sports are. It's not really physically vexing. So, no, I don't think so.
Here we are at Play Expo in Manchester, one of the biggest events in the Northwest. As you can see, hundreds of thousands of people queue up in long lines just to get in here. Why, you ask? The answer's quite simple: to play video games.
Já viu o rico namorar pobre?
Play Expo has certainly surpassed our expectations, with one of the largest game libraries I've ever seen. Whilst we could spend all day here playing arcade games or modern games, we came here with one question: can esports really be considered a sport? We spoke to Alison, a Smash Bros event organiser, and to get Will signed up to play some Smash Bros.
Hello, I'm here with Alison from Georgia, just above Florida, and I want to ask you, do you think esports should be classed as a real sport?
I think it depends really on whatever games, because some of the games you seriously have to be super good at it, and it does take practice. It takes hours, days, weeks, and years to get good at some of them. Others, you just get lucky. So I think certain games should be sports. Yeah, like Super Smash Bros. OG on the N64, baby.
So Smash Brothers is your game?
Yeah, OG, definitely. Melee is pretty good. Brawl, I am quite a fan. Project M is good, and I haven't played much of Smash 4.
How involved are you in sort of the world of esports and like Super Smash Brothers? Do you go to events and tournaments kind of thing?
I usually go to a weekly Super Smash Bros tournament, just whoop some ass.
After speaking with Alison, little did we know we were in the presence of two professional esports stars. Meet Esmond, a professional UK Tekken player, and CJ, a Scottish caster.
Hello, I'm here with Esmond, and you've been playing Street Fighter 5, is that right? Or
Tekken 7.
Tekken 7,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
You've been playing Tekken 7.
Yeah.
And we're just wondering today, what do you think about esports, and do you think it should be classed as a real sport?
I would think so, yeah, because it's a different kind of mentality to normal sports. Obviously, normal sports is more about physical attributes and stuff like that, and physical ability.
Yeah.
While with gaming, it's more about mental ability, I think. It's about mind games and stuff like that. So I do think it is a sport within itself, because you still have to strategize, you still got to think, and you still got to react as well. So, like, you know, in normal sports like in football and stuff like that, obviously you've got to react to where the ball is, you've got to strategize where you're going and stuff like that. And the same with gaming as well. You've got to strategize what you're doing, and you've got to be one step ahead. So in some ways, yes, I do consider it as a sport, because in the same sort of mindset. But in terms of like physical ability, then it's not a sport. I don't know. I guess it's like everyone's interpretation of sport is different. But my interpretation of sport is about mental or physical ability. So I personally think they're both the same thing.
I'm CJ, I'm a commentator for fighting games all over the UK, mainly for Versus Scotland, run staff things as well, and I'm also sometimes a bit of a player.
So, just talking about esports, would you say that esports should be classed as a real sport?
I think that they should, yeah. I think that they definitely have their place at the table, you know. You see other skill-based sports as well, you know, archery and things like that. You know, the fighting games and, you know, video games in general, they take the same sort of dexterity, the same sort of, you know, mental sort of fitness that you need to have to do those sorts of sports are applied to games as well, you know, and games add that competitive versus element that, you know, some of these other sports don't do, you know, and I think that they do definitely have a spot on the table at real sports, you know. I think they should be, well, at least in the conversation when it comes to sports.
Yeah. Personally for you, how long have you been playing like esports, and how involved would you say you are in the esports community?
I would say I've been playing Tekken 7 for about 5 years now. I've been quite involved with it for quite a while. You know, I mean, I play football as well, you know what I mean? So, but for me, I thought, you know, I tested myself like in gaming, and I thought like, actually I'm winning quite a lot, and I thought maybe I want to test myself, see how far I can go with gaming. And I just took myself to sort of travel to UK tournaments and stuff like that, and then the way people think and the way people adapt is kind of what amazed me about esports. And I just quite like the mental battle in gaming as well. So like it's like your mind versus their mind, and I quite like that fact about it, and it's almost like a game of chess in some sort.
After interviewing a variety of gamers and streamers, it was now 1 o'clock, which meant it was time for Will's first leg of the Smash Bros tournament.
How are you feeling, Will?
I think I've got a little bit of false confidence. I'm ready to play. I don't think I'll do very well, but you know, we'll see. Perhaps I've got the skills to pay the bills.
So, Will, how do you think you did?
I didn't do very well, Jack. I lost 2 games to 0, best of 3. I did my best, but my best is just mashing different buttons at a different time.
So, do you agree to the argument that it is a skill-based sort of thing?
Oh yeah, it is a very skill-based game. That was never in question. But I was surprised I did as well as I did. I knocked him out a couple of times, you know. That was just purely button mashing, pure skill. I mean, pure luck. But the other guy, he hadn't played in 2 years, and he was still marginally better than me. It just goes to show how much, you know, how much effort you have to put into the game to be any sort of good at it all.
From your interest and experience, how would you now compare it to sport? Would you give a better outlook on it?
Sport, I mean, I'm not very used to one-on-one competitive games like that. I'm used to sort of team-based games. But when it's solely on you, it is a lot more pressure on yourself, and it's a lot more difficult than perhaps a real team-based sport.
So
mentally, but physically, obviously it was nothing. I did have to look down at my controller a couple of times though, because I didn't know what I was pressing. So there is a physical aspect to it, although it's mainly just mental.
Win. Will, you just got in a loser's bracket, but you managed to net a win. How are you feeling?
Well, the hair got back, you know, I knew what I was doing. I had a change of character as well. Obviously I played as Link for the first time, which after discussing with some of the more experienced members is probably not the best character to start off with. But I switched to Samus from the Metroid franchise, and perhaps she was a little overpowered because I managed to beat my opponent 2 games to 1. So I was pretty happy with that, and I guess on to the next leg.
After his second game, Will's luck finally ran out.
Will, you managed to get to the next round after a surprise win in the losers bracket. But it was a close game, 2-1. You lost in the end. How are you feeling?
Yeah, well, 2-1 wasn't bad actually. I was pretty happy with the way I did. I was surprised I didn't make it as far as I did, to be honest. But I think a lot of it had to do with, you got to bear in mind some of these are experienced players, and when someone comes in who doesn't know what they're doing, it's got to be completely unpredictable. I was just mashing buttons. She probably couldn't predict my moves, and because of that, it was a close game. But you know, she was the better player. She knew what she was doing. I lost in the end.
After leaving the tournament only 3 games in, we bumped into a man known as Stuart Costas, a professor at Staffordshire University and the first person to teach esports at university degree.
If you look at how popular esports is now, they're even talking about the numbers in comparison to sports that we actually have, say NBA. Like NBA Finals, if you watch League of Legends, Worlds, that was far more than the NBA Finals, and that's one of America's top-notch biggest sports ever. And yeah, they crushed the numbers. They've looked at it again and again and again, and Olympics, that's what they're looking at. Like, it's definitely viable. We have the player base, easily, we have the support, and it's an international phenomenon right now. It's one of the biggest industries in the world, so yeah, definitely. I've helped create Staffordshire University, one of the first, well, it is the first on that degree of its kind for esports, purely because the industry is so fresh still. Like back in StarCraft, fighting days of like, you know, like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, all of that, like it all came together. But now we've got like the success of huge MOBA games, obviously with League of Legends on that. If you hear, obviously with Battlegrounds, they're obviously looking for that to be a new esport as well, with all the hype of the invitationals. The following is huge. So my part in this on that is that I'm helping promote esports in especially the West Midlands area. So we've got people from all different countries coming over to study esports with us, and that's huge because we've now got all eyes coming into the UK going, oh right, esports is like a big thing then. If you look at football clubs, they're all looking at us right now going, wow, like yeah, we'll invest the money. Man City are even looking on that of, you know, really? Investing like, yeah. Big deal. So, you know, that's the thing that they're going, we need more people. And there's a lot of people interested. If you look at Twitch, they're becoming the new generation of what to watch on TV. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Stuart.
No worries, buddy. Pleasure to meet you.
Our time at Play Expo has really opened our eyes to the world of esports and just how vast an impact it has had on the industry itself. Whilst the future is bright for esports and the gaming industry as a whole, the question still looms: can esports truly be considered a sport? We leave that question with you.
I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do storm.